starting to do the head, obviously. I've given it a clean and I've taken all the valves, springs and all that out. And I've lapped them all on the other side. They've all been lapped. I'll show you that. They've all been lapped and cleaned and they're all looking really good. Ready to go. And I thought I'd just inspect the top. I've also done all the inlet and outlet ports. They've all been cleaned, so they're good. Then I noticed some of these Welsh plugs on the top. I noticed one had just a little bit of discoloration on it. I don't know if you can see it now, I've mangled that, but anyway. Look much the same as this one here. You see this little one? Where is it? Here. And I gave it a slight tap with this, and of course, there's nothing there. That's just straight through. There's no metal left. So, please keep that in mind. If you're going to do it, especially a budget rebuild like we're doing it, where we're doing it all ourselves, like this head won't go away to get done. I've had it checked out and it's dead flat and it's good to go back on. But it'll also give you a good chance to clean the water galleries out, all the rust that builds up. So it's a good idea to get it done. I'll look up and see if I've got any ideas on how to clean most of that out. Integrity's still there. But there's no holes through. I mean, this head's so thick that it'll take a million years before you rust the head through. But still, all that rusty flakes could get in your radiator, clog it up, and cause issues when we're finished. So we'll give it a scrub, we'll give it a clean again, and I'll take this Welsh plug out, and I'll buy a set of Welsh plugs. I might even do the back one. We'll also go on to change all the valve guides and seals. Here, the oil seals. There, we'll change all them. We'll get them. That'll be in the next video. And yeah, so keep that in mind. That may look good, but underneath, look at that. That's just slight tapping, and I'm already through. The way you take them out is pretty easy. I just whack a screwdriver through it. Then I use a chisel, an old chisel. I do a bit of a line down it, and they come out pretty easy. But have a look at the bottom. They are, that's no good. You wouldn't want that protecting the head from the water. You'll get, I think that's the best one. I mean, look at it. That's not something you'd want in your car, I think. So keep that in mind, guys. All right, bit more. We're going to paint the engine today. I wasn't going to bore you with the details of how I prepared the engine, but I sanded it all by hand, and I will give it one more application by hand. I will take these tappet bolts out and I'll get in there. That's the last job. Just over here, there's something interesting. If someone knows, this paint was underneath the original paint from the factory. I'm not sure what that was, but obviously that's going to get covered now. I'm sure it wasn't made in November 1941, but someone knows, leave a comment. I matched the paint with roughly what's there. I don't think it's the true correct colour for a Series 3, but it's a Series 2 motor anyway, so we'll do it the Series 2 colour. I'll change all the Welsh plugs afterwards. They're all pitted, and as I said again, just get your tester, have a look at this one. I mean, just straight through. Then here as well, that one looked fine. Bang, straight through. Look at that. So you're crazy to even not even think about it. Don't do it. I am going to change even this back one, even though that's very solid. I will change that one because I know I'll never ever get to it. I've got a suspicion that's a brass one. No, it's steel. No, that's going. And this one here's going too. We'll redo that one. As you saw before, I've already taken the ones out of the cylinder head. Now I'll just give you, as I said before, I can't stress it enough, some of these look magnificent from the top, and I was almost going to leave them until I just noticed, as I said, a little bit of discoloration. They were all stuffed. They're cheap, they're really easy to do. I was actually surprised how easy they came out. It didn't really worry me. So I'm going to change every single Welsh plug in it. Probably bar this one. This one here is a prick to get out. I'm just going to leave that one, and that's not going to go anywhere with it. So we're going to spray it today. We're just going to give it a bit of, rub it with a bit of acetone or something, let it dry. Then we'll spray it up, and we'll see what happens. I've already given a bit of a coat to the, because when they came out of the electrolysis machine, they sort of started flash rusting, so I just put something on it. This is marine blue, but it's stuck on pretty good. I will rub it a bit. So what we're going to plan to do is spray it first. I'm going to spray behind this here first and up here, because we won't be able to get it. So I'll get Phil to hold a piece of tin or something while I'm just going to spray that first. Then we're going to put the cover on, and I'll put the whole motor together sort of roughly with just a couple of bolts in it. I'll put the cover on after that, and I'll put the thermostat, everything on, and we'll just go to town. Just spray the whole lot, and yeah, it should be good.
We're finally moving on to something a little bit more fun. Well, a little bit more fun for me, because I was a little bit over doing those doors and those little parts pieces. So now on to a little bit more of some hero work. So we've got the tub or tray, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously the lights are going, they're not correct. Got the little placard or plate here that's going to get refurbed by Adolfo. But the general condition of it is not bad, not horrible. Just had a lot of general abuse, a few hits and whatnot. That floor may have to be replaced. The rails themselves are in reasonable condition. The two back corners here, I'm not sure what's happened, whether somebody's replaced them or something or other. I mean, they're just gross. They're supposed to look like that one over there, slightly raised with a nice weld. But it's not looking too bad. Also, this rail here's had a little bit of a hit there. That should prove to be a simple repair. This whole side, or the rear bulkhead, I don't know what you'd call it, but the where the seats are is in really good condition without actually pulling it apart and having a good look. But other than that, it's just generally a matter of dings, scratches, general abuse. The two rear corners are going to need a little bit of love. As you can see there, that's going to have to get banged out. This is probably the worst corner. It's all sort of been hit and mangled, but I'm reasonably confident we can get that back. But yeah, all the parts are here, and we'll give it a good try. I'll flip it over now and I'll show you the underside. So we got it flipped over, and it's actually looking a lot better than we expected. All of these galvanised rails are in, well, they're in excellent condition really. Once they're regaled, they're going to look mint. There's absolutely no repairs that I can see for these big support rails here. Majority of the pop rivets and spot welds on this floor section seem to be intact, except for sort of the entry to the where the parts go in, or you know, the loading area. That seems to have taken a bit of damage, so you never know, we might be able to fix this floor yet. Obviously some of the bracing has come away from where it's taken some rear hits there and there. That needs a bit of straightening out. It's a little bit rusty. We'll get the Y wheel on that and see how bad that actually is. But regardless, that's not a hard part to refabricate if I need to. But generally speaking, it's not in horrible condition. Obviously, the tyre wells, the cutouts, they're going to need a little bit of banging and love. Same on this side here. But all in all, not too bad. So we now have the tub stripped of all its galvanised steel metal components, save for a couple of pieces. Obviously where the tailgate chains are, I'll be able to access that easily when I flip it over. Also the bars that are underneath here, which I already know are in good condition and don't need any work, I'll deal with them when I eventually flip the tub over. And also the door latches and that little support piece, which I'm just leaving in there for the moment because I'm just concerned about losing a bit of rigidity while I'm throwing this thing around when I get to panel beating the thing as well. Those two pieces you might have noticed in there, they're the covers for the wiring looms where the lights are. They're a bit beat up, but that shouldn't prove to be too much of an issue. And we'll go inside and we'll show you the steel pieces. Here we are in the shed. Here's all of the steel components we just spoke about earlier. I've got a bag of all the rubber stoppers and screws and things. Most of them are stuffed, but at least they're a good reference for when we actually go to replace most of them. Most of this stuff's in really good nick. Not too many dents or scratches. Obviously Adolfo will probably freshen that up a little bit. These two corner pieces obviously need to get better pipes fitted, or pipes, sort of supports. They're supposed to look like those ones there, and somebody at some point in time has messed around with them, so we'll replace those. But all in all, not too bad. Big nasty spider. G'day, mate. Yeah, so it's not looking too bad. Every piece you see just in frame here, except for those two we spoke about, are in really good order. These are the two rear corner pieces. You can see the light fixtures there. They've taken some reasonable hits, and I'll probably attack them now. But I'm not expecting that to be too difficult to get back into shape. But yeah, we'll see. So we've had some pretty reasonable success actually. I'll throw the photo of what they look like in the corner of this vid, but looking really nice. Really good. few finishing touches obviously, but they're sitting nice and flat and straight. Obviously there's a little kick at the end there, but generally speaking, we've managed to save that part.
Another frosty morning here in Melbourne, 5 degrees this morning. I know for some of you people in the Northern Hemisphere that's nothing, but for here it's quite cold. At least usually when it's cold here in the morning it means it's going to be a nice day. So let's hope. Now, windscreen wiper motors. I actually forgot to press record when I started cleaning this one, so that's going to upset my brother-in-law quite a fair bit. But anyway, this was the original windscreen wiper motor, and from the outside looked okay, looked good. And this was the one from that spare bulkhead that we bought a while back. Although when I pulled this one out, I actually took a little bit of care rather than just hack. I pulled the whole loom out. I know I'll probably get that with the new loom I've ordered. 13 weeks I have to wait for the new loom. Anyway, we're not in a rush for that, but 13 weeks. So if you are doing one up and you need a loom, make sure you allow 3 months. So that was this one. I pulled this one apart. Let's see if I can do this. I really need a tripod, but anyway. Right, there we go. That's out. You can see, manky, not very good. Water got in here. The brushes, non-existent. I mean, it could be rebuilt, don't get me wrong, no problem. And you'd probably get it to work, so I'm not throwing it away. But I'm just saying, sometimes looks can be deceiving. Unfortunately, not now that I've done that up and I forgot to take the video. But this was just caked in grease and filth. It was filthy. I was almost just not even going to bother opening it. So this one, I'll pull it apart. So when I got it, it looked like that. And of course, I'm not a mechanic. I didn't know what to expect when I opened it up. And I thought, oh yeah, this goes up and down, that works. And it was really slow and tight, but the shaft was seized. And it's only when I decided to pull this one apart that I realised that there's like a nylon guide in here that was missing from this one. And someone had a go at it. This underneath here's all wrong. So anyway, I'm not going to junk it, because, you know, I'm just not going to junk it. I might rebuild it, or, I don't know, give it to someone who wants to rebuild one. I don't care, whatever. But I won't open this one again, because this one here, the brushes, they were brand new. Like, perfect. The aperture, perfect. And in here, of course, everything was perfect. So I cleaned it up. I gave it a spray with a bit of enamel paint. I know it had like a hammer finish on this one, but you're not going to see it. It'll be tucked behind the dashboard. So yeah, so just, if you see stuff like that, looks can be deceiving. Always pull it apart. Sometimes you'll be surprised what you find. Alright, now that we sprayed the motor, we're thinking about other bits and pieces we're going to polish. As I said, sometimes there's always something to do, I found, on these cars. And sometimes it doesn't involve spending a lot of money. Stuff like this, again, it's just another small job we can tick off. It has been washed, but it's still a bit dirty and oxidised and a bit of overspray, which is good. That's my fault. I'm going to give it a clean and a polish. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, there you have it. Done. Look, as I said, it's not it's come up quite nice. It's not overly polished. They weren't overly polished anyway. But that'll look nice and clean when it's put on. I do prefer them with the aluminium. I know a lot of people paint them the same colour as the motor, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm actually not sure how they came, but I think I prefer it just to pick it out. These motors have got no bling on them anyway, so try and put as much bling as possible on them, I think. So we'll put that on the motor and it should look quite smart. Rightio guys, just I'm going to do a little video here on things to watch when you buy parts and you're an idiot like me. So as you know, we're doing up the cylinder head and the motor, which is now sprayed and looks pretty good, and it's coming along quite nicely actually. So it's all been cleaned. I bought a new water pump which will spray up in the next couple of days, and I pulled all the Welsh plugs out. They're all out. Honed all these surfaces, ready for the new Welsh plugs. Great. So I thought I'd measured them correctly, but obviously I didn't. So we've got the standard block Welsh plug. I think they're 50mm or 2" or whatever they are. That worked well. They're correct. So we can put them away, they're correct. This is the, I think it's an oil plug or something like that. It goes at the back of the engine. The only reason I'm changing it is the existing one's really rusty and it just looks a bit crappy. So I'll change that. That's correct. So these four here, they said cylinder head Welsh plugs on the web page. So I presumed that they were these four Welsh plugs here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So I went and purchased it. They're wrong. I only need one of them. That's for there. So anyway, we've got some spares. That's fair enough. No worries. That'll be for the next project. Yeah, right. I bought a new fitting kit for the manifold. Mind you, I am happy with these parts. Don't get me wrong. This is all my fault. I'm not blaming the part supplier. It's my fault. But it's just something you should watch. So, yep, it's a fitting kit for the manifold. Only the exhaust, not the inlet. So all the little, what do you call them? These things. These little, these things here. Anyway, whatever they're called. You don't get them for the inlet. You only get the exhaust. Great. Anyway, I'll fix that up. These, I thought that was going to be the centre Welsh plug, but they're not. I don't even know where they go. I think there's one of them needed. Goes under that brass nut in the cylinder head. I didn't stuff up the oil filler cut. That looks nice. Oh, that's going to make all the difference in the car, that. But anyway, great. That's correct. We did up the fuel pump. I'm just going to change the gasket. It didn't come with the rebuild kit, so that's okay. Then I bought this. This is for the back of the cylinder head. It's always a good idea to change these two, because once the motor's in the car, you won't get to them. Now, I think they're the same, but they're not. So I got the one for the back of the block, by the look of it, not the one for the back of the cylinder head. Even though they're bloody close, annoyingly close, you can't do it. So I'll have to buy that now. That's okay. Rocker cover grommets. Everyone knows. I think you need more than one. That was my stuff up. I probably pressed one instead of three. That's all right. I can fix that. That's not disastrous. Now the front oil seal for your crankshaft. Every kit I've seen has got the shroud around it. Now I'm not complaining about the seal. The seal's really good quality. Like, it is excellent quality. It's fantastic. It's better than some of the other ones I've seen. So I don't know if it's not Brit part or whatever. Regardless, it's a good seal. But this particular supplier doesn't supply this. So I'd actually thrown this in the bin, because I thought, oh yeah, we'll get a new one when I get this. But so just watch out. You don't get this in some cases. So I had to dig it out of the rubbish yesterday. I polished it up. Look, in hindsight, it is good quality, this old one. It is very strong. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll refix it onto the front of the timing housing, and that's great. I also bought gaskets for the manifold. They'll correct. That's just a, you know, if we're doing it up, we might as well change every single gasket in the car. So I think the point to the video is, make sure you click the right boxes, make sure you measure twice, because it is just quite annoying. So now I have to go back and annoy this poor bloke for maybe $8 worth of parts.